Hello, and we're talking about the Monster Hunter soundtrack. Especially, we're talking about monsters here. The monster we're talking about is Astalos. Astalos in Monster Hunter Wiki, we have the summary. It reads like this: black and verdant flying wyverns with a neopteran-like appearance, bearing translucent green wings, a pincer-like tail, and a prominent crest on their heads. By vibrating organs on their head, tail, wings, Astalos build up a tremendous electrical charge within their bodies, which they unleash for physical and lightning attacks. Extraordinarily violent and ill-tempered, Astalos will brutally attack almost anything in their vicinity with their barbed wings. See, as you can see in this gallery, you can see the description, the summary description, and its image what Astalos looks like. So this is the Sunbreak render, and then this is a Monster Hunter Now render, and then this one is Stories to render, and this one is the Monster. So the Monster is basically when you write a monster in Monster Hunter Stories series. However, if you're talking about the main line, the Astalos appears in the fourth generation as a debut, Monster Hunter Generations and Generations Ultimate, and then go to the fifth generation, Monster Hunter Rise. Another fact is that Astalos is one of the flagships in Generations, representing the Fated Four, consisting of Astalos itself, Gamoth, Mizutsude, and Glyphinus. Because we're talking about soundtrack, we're going to go to the audio track first. Okay, we're using Audacity for now, and we're talking about how it sounds. We're not reacting, but we're going to discuss. Because, why will I react if I already know the soundtrack? So here's the thing. Here we are in the soundtrack. We have the Generations version and the Sunbreak version and the Chase Sunbreak version. And we're going to play each by each and play by play. And I think we're going to start first with the Generations version. Let's start for Generations version. We're gonna go play in 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, this is Astalos team, Generations. It was composed by Ryo Uratani, one of the lead composers, or perhaps the lead composer of Monster Hunter Generations. As you can see, the most prominent thing you can have here is the electric guitar and synth instruments here. Look. And then it loops back to the intro and goes back to the first section of the soundtrack. With this, we can go stop for a while, and we're gonna go discuss what happens here. Okay, so this is the original soundtrack, the original one before it was rearranged. So this was composed by Ryo Uratani, the one who composed for Monster Hunter Generations, the lead composer of Monster Hunter Generations. And I gotta say, this one has emphasis on electric guitars and synth instruments and more noise instruments that works in higher frequencies. So, what can I say about this? This one is frantic but also steady, with a mixing of rather flat on my taste, but flat sounding is intended to be like that. Because Generations was designed for 3DS, it's understandable to go for a flatter sounding, a flatter sound profile. For example, this one. Let's go to this one first. So with this segment, we can see that this one is minus 36 dB. However, in this part, going to the minus 20, minus 10.4 to up, it has more prominence. It has more prominence on other standout instruments, especially we're talking about melody and harmonies. And here we are. And then we're gonna go describe what kind of Astalos is. If we're judging from the, no, if we're analyzing from the sound alone, from this track alone. All right, in this one, Astalos comes from the sky, right? I actually have a drawing for this. Let me try. So this is Astalos, okay? It draws for the sky, and then sky, that, and then it's like an fading you, and then this is you, by the way. This is you, the hunters, and then we're talking about how it frantically goes into attacking you for many times. That's why it goes like someone's in the sky, you know, and that's the only thing you can have there. And here we're going to have another one. All right, there's an electric guitar playing. It's one of the most the most standout of this soundtrack. You know, usually electric guitar was played on Zinogre because it was electric, but this one is flying. The flying one is also electric. You can see this Astalos is also playing with bolts and lightnings. Yeah, it can be frightening if you want to ask me, if you're talking about how we hunt Astalos. So this one. So you can see there's an exchange from the violin to flute, like this one. See, that one is basically when Astalos descends and ascends. Like when you go this one, like go attack, and then we go fly, attack again. Yeah, like that. So you can see how it resembles Astalos in general. In that phase, it's just being annoying to you. It's just being annoying. And then, what does that mean? It uses lightning. It presents like a lightning, like this. We go lightning like this. Attack, fly again. Attack. So this one just got attack. So that one is what I described for so far. So what does this mean? It also makes a characteristic of Astalos itself, making a frantic shift from the above, below, and go sideways if they want to. And let's go continue again. The guitar played in this role is the role of the guitar is the electricity. And this one, and you look at this one. All right, you can see there was a sound effect like something that comes from the higher frequencies. This one, for example. Yeah, that sound. Look. Yeah, that's the one. What does that mean? So, in order to know about Astalos for this one, because it just goes flying like this, it just goes flying like this. This one is just basically this creature just fly, constantly flying, and then they go like this, just running around, and then don't know where to go. It's just like constantly flying, where to attack, but at the same time it just casts lightning like this. It casts lightning. Oh, by the way, its lightning is green colored. It's green rather than Zinogre that has blue, but this one is green. So like this one, all right. And this is what I described so far. And let's go to the climax section. Yep. This track is rather short, so it's like 1 minute and it's done. But it's actually meaningful if you want to describe more about this creature. So in this climax, in this intense moment, it has more emphasis on the lightning itself. So this is Astalos, right? And we're gonna go draw again for this one. And so this one is green, but in the end rage, this one casts more lightning. Casts lightning with a bolt like this. This is the bolt one, and then it just go, yeah, electrifying electrifying the hunters even more. And if you want to see the gameplay, I can't do it right now because I'm recording here. And usually this one goes fly and then goes aggressively, goes to the ground, and then goes slams the player with this electricity here. Like you can see, everything is electric, everything is electric, everything is electric. And this one also emits more lightning with this insect-like wings. You can see here. So I can portray that this one goes intense at the climax phase, and that's how it works. And then musically, how does this work? It has a sound effect like I mentioned before. It's basically how the lightning has a voice, more like there's a noise of the lightning. Yeah, of course, there's a voice and noise. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I can say. And the key doesn't change much, but this one. So it's like that. It changes between octaves. Yeah. Yeah, it's A minor. This one is A minor, and then on this one it changes. It's E minor actually. This one is E minor. So basically we have this one is on A minor and then go to E minor. That's what I'm guessing for now. Alright, that's the Generations version, and we're gonna go shift into the Sunbreak version. What does this offer? We're gonna go listen in 3, 2, 1. Apparently I had to turn up the volume for this. Yeah, this one. This one is more subtle. It has more dynamic range, but in exchange, some tracks are rather at a low, rather quiet. But that's the point of dynamic range for this one. But it is nice to see some instruments getting separated, so this one is actually more clear than what you hear on Generations. But is it true? This one is the new version. Alright, I think this one loops. We can go stop for a bit. Okay, so what do we have in the Sunbreak version? The Sunbreak version. So, musically, and we're talking about sound, of course, this one has more dynamic range, it's wider, and in exchange, this one, some instruments went quieter and some instruments went louder. Usually in Sunbreak, when I listen to it, it has more emphasis on the bass, on the lower frequencies, but not for this one, for Astalos, because it was digitally programmed, well, as expected from the digital soundtrack for this. It uses digital instruments, some use an actual instrument, electric instruments such as electric guitars, as at this one. However, there's something that is interesting to discover from this one. I'm not saying everything is bad, I'm not saying this one is bad or good, but we can see how it changes. This one is arranged by Mana Ogura. At that time, she composed for Sunbreak. Yes, this one is one of the good composers that actually work on Wilds. Yeah, she's a composer for Sunbreak, debuted in Rise and then goes to Sunbreak. She also composed Proof of the Hero on Sunbreak version. And this one, she rearranges Sunbreak and with this kind of emphasis. The composition and arrangement is basically the same, except it has some extended versions, like this one. Hold on. Yeah, that one. But this one, we're going to go listen again at the first segments. So in that version, you can see the electric guitar is more subdued, but at the same time, it produces more lower frequencies, so it adds more wake. Again, we gotta listen again. And it's more separated. Now in this part, this is one of the subtlest, but you can hear this one. See, that one, you can hear the static noise. Yeah, that one is a static noise, but the volume is a bit low and even subtle. So some people may not know that that exists. But what does that mean? Let's go back to the illustration here. So Astalos here, when I say they're gonna fly, they're gonna attack and fly, attack again and fly again. That one, you can see that this one is basically charging a bolt, like charging bolts. This one goes again, goes again, goes again. And it's fine to do that, and it's actually more menacing than what you think. So, however, this one is a bit subtle. Because of that, some people they say, oh, this one is quieter than the Generations version. Well, of course, this one has a wider dynamic range, but it's fine to say that this one is better than the other. But for me, we can't talk about the preferences right now. Personally, I have some favorites. I have some plus and minuses for each soundtrack. Advantages, disadvantages, opportunities, like that. Yeah, like this one. This is actually good. This one is basically the same. So the best thing I can, the most I can describe is about the sound quality of this. This one has more bass. This one has more range. And look at this. What I like from this is about how guitar sounds and how the horns and the bass and the bass and the brass horns sounds like this. Like let's replay again. Okay, we're gonna start this one first, and we're gonna compare what's inside this one. So basically, they have the same. They have this one. They have the same alignment here. This one, look, it stops here, and then in Sunbreak it goes to extended loop. So we're gonna go listen to this version again, to the generations again. Look. Okay, this one I think more emphasis on electric guitar, but in Sunbreak you can see that actually this one is different. This one has a combination of electric guitar and brass instruments. Again, we listen again here. Yep. And then go to the electric guitar for this one. And then this one is the additional segments. Alright, we're gonna go start again here. I like this segment. I like this extended version. It's so intense, but at the same time, it just feels so heroic. So, what makes this like this? And how can I describe this? Look. So this one has more emphasis on brass instruments. Here. This one, it races. This one races. Yeah. For this one because I say it has more prominent on the brass instruments rather than electric guitar. I will say this one is an exchange. The exchange is really good, and I actually like this one. So, but this doesn't mean to say this one is better than the others. But I can say this one has advantages. So let's draw again in this part. So this is Astalos, and these are hunters here. These are hunters. Okay, these are hunters, because in Sunbreak you have let's say Sunbreak has 4 hunters and 4 buddies at maximum, but this one is basically like you only have 4 entities in total. This one has 8 entities, but it's okay. This is just an illustration. So what does that mean? We just clash. We just clash like this one. Hold on. This is our hunter clash. By the way, usually Astalos is weak to ice, so I gotta draw this in ice blue color here. In ice, and this one goes in ice too. And we're gonna go and then we're gonna go like some break like this one, until everything is intense. The vibe is really fierce at that moment. So we can tell this soundtrack by a story, and this story lasts about like 1:30, like 1 minute and 30 seconds. You can see that this one is actually one of the extension. So that's how I describe and how the turning tide changes from the electric guitars to horns. It became one of the most violent into one of the most heroic with a standoff that we clash with the Astalos. So this is the Sunbreak version, and actually we have the chase version. We have to hear this again. You have to hear this, and we gotta go listen in 3, 2, 1, go. So I can talk about this one more. So chase segment is okay. Chase segment is basically when you have this. This is the area. Let's say this is area number. This is the area number. Area number. Let's say 5, and then this creature goes to area 10, for example. However, Astalos has to fly. So the transmission is going to fly like this. Go like this, and then go here. And this is it. And that's how I describe for the chase team. And then let's hear again. Let's start over. All right. Because this is the chase team, these are in perspective of the monster itself or us, the hunters. The horn, the brass segment is representing us, and the electric guitar is representing the Astalos, at least on my interpretation. Usually the chase team only loops for 2 times for this one. Yeah, this one is the chase team. It's quite simple. It's more subtle than what you think because I mean that's the purpose of the chase team, and that's the whole thing that you can hear about Astalos teams from the generations and the Sunbreak versions. So, if you want to know about Astalos a little more, let's watch some of the videos again. So I open this one and I have these references I can get for now. This is the Rise, Sunbreak, but we gotta go watch these generations first. Of course, this is from Watch My Database. I'm not really into credit channel, but but at least credit by credit is due. We gotta go look at it. Look at this one. So this one is generations. This also exists in generations ultimate. But at the same time, this was also in the original. As you see here, it's quite ferocious. And that's the cutscene of the Astalos in the intro of the generations, and then this one is about the opening version. This one. This is the opening section of the Monster Hunter generations. You can see how grandiose it is, but we don't talk about that. We're talking about Astalos itself. So this one is Gamma, this one is Mizuzune, and this one. Yeah, this one. This is Astalos. This one is Astalos. Look at this. No, this one. This is Ratalos, and this one is Astalos. Yeah, that's Astalos for you, and it goes flying toe to toe with Ratalos because we're talking about a fire dragon. No, the king of the skies, flying against the electric wyvern, and this one is the Sunbreak version. You have the intro for this.
One hit is all it takes to extinguish fragile life. When struck by its lightning, the effect will endure until death. An example of its violent,
So,
murderous nature.
you can see this one is actually pretty good. You can see in this section, it is more glowy, it's more flashy, it is more frightening with this night environment in the jungle.
No matter how many lives are sacrificed, it will never subside, as if the copious amounts of blood it sheds can never be matched.
What I like from Astalos in Sunbreak is that the wings are like an insect, like it's Neopteron. So you can see this one is a more iridescent, like this one. Look at this, iridescent, and you can see the horn. This one, this part has emits lightning, and going for the assault for not of small monsters, large monsters, and you can see how glowy it is. Like this one. This is so this is it's green lightning that I was talking about, and this is how the music and at that time and this is how the music works at that time. And I gotta say, I could not describe more about the monster in description, but what can I say? What I can say is about how music, how this track, like in the Sunbreak version or the Generations version, can describe how Astalos can move and can behave, adapt, or even confront attacks in those melodic manner and those musical manner. So this one is actually really good for story perspective. If talking about how this thing leave, you know. And that's the only thing. That's the only reference I can have for now. And we go back to this Astalos in Monster Hunter Wiki. I usually work on this part too, but usually I have a soundtrack section. In soundtrack section, I usually make a data from Monster Hunter 1 to Wilds for now, and that's the only thing I can do for now. I also make a templates for Monster Hunter Wiki, and that's the only thing. So that's my discussion for now, and this is the it is a shocking scoundrel Astalos. Generations and Sunbreak version. Some versions have their own advantages, disadvantages, something standouts, and something on purpose for the track itself. It depends on the mood, which one you like it or not, but if you like it more, yeah, you can pick one of the following. So, this is my discussion about Astalos soundtrack for Monster Hunter Generations and Sunbreak in general too. And we're going to have another discussion with another monster, and we're gonna see you in the next video. There you go.